visualization also comes in the picture because the computing power is now very large. So if you want to do a particular task after let's say last 2 3 decade back, it was quite complicated. But right now we have huge computing power, so we can use any algorithm and we can solve any number of complex problems. Okay, and data-driven decision making. So as a data science, we more focused on data-driven driven based decision making. So good data beats your opinion. So this is just introductory part. So before we are starting with your okay. So the my screen is visible, right? Hello.
Yes, Suresh, yes.
Okay, cool. So good data beats opinion. Basically, so you have better data, you can beat anyone's opinion, and it means you have good data means you have creating good insights. So insights in terms of your numerical form and visualization. So market demand as US Bureau of Labor Statistics reports that there will be huge demand in data science skills, will be more than 28% rise uh, till the 2026. Okay, so means you are doing the statistics or data science or you are acquiring these skills. So you have definitely chance to do this kind of jobs. Okay, and there is also noticeable shortage in qualified. So in when I'm saying qualified indicates that it's not just about degree. You must have some data science skills, so in terms of programming, in terms of software handling and domain knowledge as well. Statisticians having higher growth more than 33% demand. Okay, so when you are doing statistics, you have huge chance in a market right now. So don't worry about whether we will get job or not. Okay, but you must have skills. And as a statistician, if you are a statistician, you must know all the basic principles of statistics. So this is just data scientist or the definition. So if you want to become a data scientist, you must know how to collect the data, shape the data, sort data, manage data, analyze data. Okay, so when analyzing a data, we must need to produce insight in such a way that it will be easy to understand. And visualization is one of the best measure to visualize your data, right? And you will directly get insights without computing any number. There are a number of roles. We will mostly focus on this area right now. So visualization, business intelligence developer. So most of the people are more looking for data science role only, but there are a number of roles or openings in the market, and you are also capable to do that role, and they are also giving huge salaries. So don't run towards the hype. Focus on skills and get those jobs. So the business intelligence developer, this is a role where your main skill is required to understand what is a business and the best visualization techniques. Okay, so if you comes under some situations where you need to apply on those roles, you definitely go for business intelligence role. Okay, so there are a number of roles. I don't need to explain all these roles, but yeah, these are the some roles. So data scientist is also there, machine learning engineer, machine learning scientist and all. But right now we'll as a for this session we'll be focusing on the business intelligence developer roles. Okay, so these are the some more roles. Technology skills. So technology, obviously you have SQL and all, but so why Python or R or Tableau? So Tableau is basically a common platform across the all organization right now to derive insights from data or visualize the data. But Tableau is again the major challenge with Tableau is it's not open source, it's not a free. So let's say some small organization don't use tablets to do some visualization stuff. So when they and now if they want to do visualization part, they either will go to the R Shiny or ggplots, or they can use Python. So why Python? Because Python is connected to the all softwares, all input devices as well as output devices. Okay. So when you are so it will be useful to end-to-end processing, and Python is in high demand. So let's focus on how to do a data visualization part in a Python. Okay. this is the major part about the skills, and hope from this a small intro you can understand what is the importance of data visualization. Okay, so sorry, I'll close this. Let's start about the data visualization part. So in the today's lecture, we will so basically this is a quote by John Tukey. So the greatest value of picture is when it forces to notice what we have never noticed or never expected to see. So better visualization gives you the better results. Okay. So
Suresh,
this is sorry.
we are not able to see you.
I have shared. Okay, just give me a second.
Okay.
Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
No.
So what's on the screen? It's a Jupyter notebook, right?
Yes.
I'm not able.
Okay, just I'll cancel and again share.
Okay. Am I now able to?
Okay, I think there is some network problem with at your end,
Okay.
maybe. Okay, cool. So these are the few charts we'll be discussing today in a short notice. Okay. So after for discussing all these charts, I need some contribution from you guys. Which chart is suitable at which location and for calculating or taking some insights. Okay. So let's start with the bar plot. But to do a particular charting, I need some data. So this is simple library which will be used for your analysis. Hope you know this stuff, right? Importing libraries and all. Yes, no. Guys, speak. Yes, right? Do you know what are the libraries available? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, so I ask some questions to you guys, right? So try to speak. So let me just show one thing. Okay, so this is just private stuff, but so I really need to share this one with you guys. Because every time when we are discussing or taking lectures, I am facing the same issue. Okay, it will take some time, but no problem. So this is one guy. Hope my chat is visible to you, right? So this is one manager at Bajaj, and I given one reference to him. Okay, for job. Let's say what he has said. कम्युनिकेशन जी मारामारी आहे. आपल्या भागातल्या पोरांचं कधी ऍक्सिडेंट जाणार. Okay, so this is a real comment from the guys who are hiring from the our people. Okay, or if they are targeting, they want some good candidates, and we are not able to get those jobs because of the only communication part. Okay, so try to speak. It's not a burden for you guys, but speak at least. Okay, so I'm not asking any difficult questions or any private stuff. Just speak what you know, yes or no. That's it. Okay, cool. So did you know these libraries? Hello. So my voice is audible, but you are not able to speak. Why? Is there any challenge for you to speak? Hmm. Yes, my screen is visible. I'm audible.
Yes, sir. Your screen is also visible and you are audible.
Okay, so guys, one humble request, at least say yes or no, so we can proceed. Otherwise, it is a waste of time for me as well as you. Okay, cool. So I'm guessing that you know this stuff. So this is the import of library. So I have imported this data. So which is a campaign data, obviously, and this is a real life data. Okay, so when we do campaign means we are approaching customers, and they will be whether say I'm interested in that product or not. Okay, so my response is here. So this is my data, and it looks like this. Okay, so I have age variable, job variable, whatever these are the variables, and last variable will be no and yes. Okay, so why no and yes? So whether he has said yes to that product, the response will be yes. Otherwise, no. Now I have this kind of data, and based on your understanding, my interest will be whether he has approach or say yes to our service or product, right? So then what will be the next step? So we have to again identify some core stuff about your data, right? So the first step will be what? We'll be checking your type of data. Yeah, it's now data frame. So and again, as a simple visualization part, we'll be more interested in your shape, right? So what it will give me? Campaign.shape. Guys, you remember anything from Python or you are new to the Python? What
So we all are new for Python.
new food? So actually, you some session has already completed, right? About the pandas and all. Okay, so basically, data frame means your data. In a Python, we are calling as a data frame because it has in a frame structure. Print campaign type gives you the type of that particular data. Okay, the object. Basically, campaign here is object. Python is the object programming, right? Object programming language. So everything in a Python is an object. So I want to understand what is the type of that object. So I put type of that. I call this function and print the object. Okay. So this is a pandas code data frame. Now, if I want to interested in that shape, I'll write shape. SHAP. It gives me number of rows first and second will number of columns. Similarly, if I want to extract only shape, I'll write just 0 and 1 because Python starts from 0 index. Hope all these terms you know. Then whenever you have given data, you must need to check all these parameters. What is your number of rows in your column, number of rows in your data, as well as number of column in your data. So if I know that now 21 are the columns, so my more interest will be what are they, right? So this is the procedure we follow every time. So when you deal with any new data, so my columns are here: age, job, marital status, education, and all. But to draw a particular chart, okay, or any chart, what is our most interest, or which chart we will be using at which situation, in which situation? When we plot a bar plot, basically, you know bar plot, right? So how many up here from the masters? I mean masters second year and first year. Second year basically.
First year, MSc first year, all are from MSc first year.
No one is from second year here.
No,
Okay, that will be fine. Okay, but right, still you are in a master first year, but after 1 year you will be facing some interviews, right? So try to speak at least. So you are just attending the list lecture. You are not doing the typing this part, right? Okay, cool. So when we use bar plot, I think you have already created bar plots here in times. What is the application of bar plot, or when we plot a bar, basically? What type of data required to plot a bar? Guys, what will happen? I will just explain the code for bar plot, box plot, and all. But you have to tell me, and this is just basic stuff. So you already know this part, right? So at least speak. इंग्रजीमध्ये सांगायचं राहू दे, मराठीत सांगायचं आहे. बोला. Okay, cool. Then fine. I'll explain by myself. Okay, so now I got the data, right? So next part will be the checking of whether the type of that object. If it is a categorical variable, I'll be more interested in your frequency distribution. If it is a numerical variable, I will be more interested in their histograms and all, like density functions and all, right? So here, or sometimes it may happen that we are more interested, even it is a numerical variable and it's in a count form, I'll be more interested in a distribution function or a density function and frequency distribution as well. So there are a number of ways to deal with the data. So this is my aged campaign data types. Okay. So next will be what? My interest variable value count. Okay. So campaign bracket response dot value counts. It will give me. So this will, if I want to call this is my data, right? Campaign, and this will be my attribute. If I put here value underscore counts, it will give me the how many nodes and yes are there. So this is just kind of frequency, right? So value counts will give you frequency for that variable if it is in a object form. Okay, and this kind of data will be used to plot, right? Now what I will do for just the sake of understanding or for calculation purposes, I'll replace this as my response variable by np. Hope you know this stuff, np where, and now my counts for the y are the same, but my indicator here change 0 to 1. Okay, now I want to just focus on the categorical variables, because for those variables I'll be more interested in the frequency per distribution and the basically pie charts and all, right? So these are my categorical variables. So how I got those variables? Campaign dot select d types object is equals to column and cat vars is equal to this. Okay. So job is my categorical variable. Monitor status is also categorical variable. Now if I want to check what are the jobs available and their respective uh, frequency count, what should I write here? अरे बोला काहीतरी. तुम्ही खरंच मास्टर्सला आहात?
सुरेश एक मिनिट तुला. ऍक्च्युली जे नमपाय आणि पांडाचं जे काही डिस्कशन आहे ते डिटेल मध्ये त्या लायब्ररीचे डिस्कशन अजून स्टार्ट नाही झालेलं. त्या अगोदर जे बेसिक पार्ट आहे जे ऑपरेटर्स असतील, डू व्हाईल लूप, त्यानंतर काल फंक्शनचा वगैरे पार्ट झालेला आहे आणि नेक्स्ट आता डेटा व्हिज्युअलायझेशन नंतर आपण पांडाज आणि नमपायच्या ज्या काही लायब्ररीज आहेत त्याच्याबद्दल इन डिटेल मध्ये डिस्कशन आहे ते होणार आहे. म्हणजे 1-2 लेक्चर त्याच्या रिलेटेड होतील.
अच्छा. Okay, ठीक आहे. But still, I have explained here, right? So if
राईट.
I want to get a frequency distribution, I want to just write the data name. This is my variable name and value count. It will gives me the distribution, right? So if I write, I want to identify the distribution. I'll just simply put instead of y, job. So you will be able to understand this after completing that NumPy and Panda session. So I'll be getting this. Now, next part is what? I got the frequencies. I can plot the bar plot for, right? So what is the, so here job frequency, I have assigned that value counts into job frequency, and this is my index. So how many, what type of roles they are? Admin kind of roles, blue color roles, technician, services, management, and now the respective values are here. Job frequency dot values this. Now what I want to identify the bar plot. So most interesting fact here about the bar plot, I need to import the every time this part, right? So import matplotlib. Matplotlib is one of the library for visualization like your ggplot. Okay. So here it is, within that there are a number of functionalities within that your library. Okay. So matplotlib as PLT PY plot. Okay. So this is a core library for plotting and import numpy np. Okay. So I'll just not put this part right now. I'll copy this and just below here, and we will see why this is important. Okay, right. So I written this. I'm not sure whether we have started kernel or not. Okay, so I'll run this as well. Okay, now, so PLT is from what? Your matplotlib, the object, and it's creating a subplot. Okay, so this is my first code. Then we are interesting on what x-axis and y-axis, right? So my for my, so basically for my bar plot, I need something, right? So the x-axis and y-axis. So y-axis is my frequency basically, and x-axis is what? You are the objects. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and whatever they are. So this is my admin, this is a blue collar, then their technician, then serviceman and all. And respective frequencies as add this. So similarly, we have to write it in another form that, but we have to focus on what is the range of your x. Okay, so this x is how much long it is. So how we will get this? We have to identify the length of this x vector, right? Similar to your box plot, not box plot, the plots from your ggplot. Okay. So what I did here, I'll just calculate this index. What is the length of that, and it will gives me 12. So there are 12 entries for your job roles, and now I want to plot 12 x bars, right? Bars, total bars are 12, and we have frequencies with respect to that 12, right? So next, here what I did, I multiplied that. So this is basically bars command. So ax dot x into 2, it's not required. I simply put x. And what we are plotting job values. So values means your frequencies, and your you can label means you can title this, okay, job frequency as a. Now for the Y label, this is a frequency. For your entire title will be targeted group, job groups. Means this is a campaign, right? So we can write any name. Then X6 means what? You have to write some, basically now. When I have started, I have created this part. So what we have started with, length of your X, length of your index. So now it turns around 12. So it will start with 12 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, same. This is a 12. Okay. So x-axis we got, but here the entries are 1, 2, 3 to 12. Next, we started with the frequency part. Okay. So we got the, basically y values are, these are the values. Now next part what we have done, we assign them as a job frequency. So this is my job frequency. Basically entire title will be job frequency. This is my frequencies for that, but we didn't mention name for your this X1 to 12, right? So for that, I have to assign name for this 1, 2, 3, and so on. So what will be the names? Names are indexes, right? So here what I did here, well, first we have to got the location for those parts, and this X table at that particular label we have to do or assign index. Okay, so that's why now this 1, 2, 3 replaced by your job index. Okay, now next part will be what? Let's say I didn't use this rotation part. My chart will be like this. Okay, so here if you see, you are getting this bar plots, frequencies, this India job frequency, this is your title, but your the x-axis names are complicated and stuff because you are not able to do it because there is no space over there, right? So what we can do, we can rotate that ticks. Okay, so if I do here 45, it will change to this, and now you are able to see those names, right? So this is my admins, this is a blue collar technician, retire and all. Okay, basically. So this is a bar plots. Okay, hope you understand your this entries shows me the what is the frequency, and this is quite good looking charts. Okay, so this when you are trying with your any other softwares, they are not that much good. So you can change the colors as well. So if you write here the colors and their huge color combinations are available. Color combinations means you can write your RGB simply. This is a red. Okay, so it will gives me red color. But the important topic here will be if I want to write this, it will be use me, let's say 000 and 8B. Sorry, wait. Just give me a second. So here more colors. So if you I see here customs, okay. So if I select RGB format to any number, let's say 0, 0, and let's say 139. Okay. So this is my color. So in more colors, this is what? Hash 88B, right? So we can write these colors as well. Okay, and this type of colors we can use. So basically, what are the colors available in a real world? We can plot those colors. So it will be much more good to visualize this. And important part that we can integrate Python with any website, right? So you can display this chart real time as well. And so this is a good in nature. So you can use Python as the best library for visualization. So hope you know this, understood this part. Color, you can write it hexadecimal point colors. Okay. So next will be what? Now I'm interested in what? Jobs and campaign. So basically job title and your response. So I'm interested in whether how many people from admin group said yes. Similarly for blue collar and all. Okay. So let's say I have to create the same. I got the job frequency from cross tab. So you will be learn this in pandas how to obtain the tabular frequencies. Okay. So just give me a second. Sorry guys. Okay. So here we got the your cross tab, right? So in admin role, within admin role, there are these number of customers are no, these are yes, and this is a whole frequency distribution. Okay. So now next x plots of plots. Okay. So similarly, I have started here with subplots. Okay. The same thing we have already started for your matplotlib. So I need to write this in a one block, because if you I write it separately, it will won't work. Okay, most of the times. So I'm trying to explain it entire block, and I'll be running this block. Okay. So next part is here. I again obtained the range values for the x. Then we have decided here width. Okay, why width is required? So let's say again go to your chart. Okay, so basically, let's say this is my one line and this is my second line. So this is where I want to plot a chart, right? Okay. So now I'm having the same size of bar. Let's say this is my one bar. Okay, but bars are always at your center point of x, and it has associated with some width. So this is my width, right? But now if I want to add one more bar, let's say this is one joint bar for your no as well. I'll the color for this not color possible here. Okay, so this is my another bar. Okay, but now my location is shifted over here, right? So what we need, we have to shift this your x-axis from this midpoint to the next midpoint. The next midpoint will be what? If my dimension for this width is 40.0, midpoint is at point 2, right? So I want to shift this origin to next point 2, right? So what I will do, I will this point 4 plus half of your width, means total width, right? This will be my new location to plot the charts, right? So this is how we have to adjust those charts. So here, so here what I did, I have started my first bar at x minus width by 2, and second bar is at width by 2. Okay, plus and minus. So half chart will be at this point, half chart will be at this point, second half will be at this point, and it will be entirely at your, this is your central point as it is. Okay, so this is a change you have to do only. Then you have put here yes frequencies and no frequencies. You can label them as a yes and no. So this is part again same. So frequency and all, and you can, if you run this, you will be getting this kind of charts. Okay. So here first is your yes, second is your no. Okay. So this is not a good way to look into this chart. So the better way is if I write a subplots in a such a way that your entire frequency is this and your next frequency I can write over here, right? And this will be not able to there because this is not there. So when this is my yes part and remaining will be no and the entire will be your actual distribution. Those kind of charts are more suitable in this situation, right? So we can create those kind of charts as well. So major challenges here what? We have plotted the same, but here we just change one part. Bottom job response is no. So what it indicates, it will gives you the bottom no plus. So we have plotted first no chart. So this is my no chart for particular one observation, and you are keeping this as a bottom by command, and yes plot will be writing over it. Okay. So here another point is your x-axis is the same for both situation, job.index. So it's plotting at the same location, just point will be changing that you are assigning bottom job response is equals to no. So it will keep your first frequency and then second frequency. Okay. And similarly for your notation part and all. So when you are calling, we have to use just a x.bar. Bar means your bar plot. Okay. So similarly, you can create pie charts and all. So let's go to the pie chart. So this is not good stuff, but still okay. So in pie chart, what it will convert your frequency. The entire distribution is 100%, right? So we can distribute it and we will give some percentage, and we can plot percentage in a pie chart. So what we did here, let's say plot pie chart job values and this. So this is autopilot means the just how it looks like. Shadow means this is some slight slash shadow over here. So you can write true or let's say false. And stranger is 140 means from which location you have to start. If I put here is an 90, so you'll start with something this. At this is my 90 point, and it will start creating all the pie from there. But if you see here, this is not well looking chart. Okay. Because lots of stuff are still you are not able to access it. Okay. So there are few charts for pie chart. So this is basically only change here is plt.py, and you will be getting the pie chart. Okay. So next here I have another variable. Let's see days of week. So at which day of week you have targeted the customer. So there are 7 days or six, basically 5 day working. So they have only 5 days data. And now here I can create pie chart plot.py, your day frequency values, then label days frequency indexes means these are the indexes. This autopack, then strange angle is 90 means this is your 90. So if I convert it into let's say 45, okay, so it will start at this 45 angle, and LOC is the best suitable, so it will assign these values, legends values at best location. So this is the best location for this chart. This plot tightly out means they are not there is any space in between. So this is the best way to showcase the chart. And if I run this, I'll be getting this chart. So now this line is at 45. Okay. So sometimes it depends on your analysis to analysis how we can write. You can assign also color combinations in this pie. I'll just explore those part. Now what histogram? So you know at least histogram. What is histogram and why we use histogram? First, at least you know this part, right? I can understand you don't know pandas command and all. So, but you know what is a histogram? Why we use histogram? What are the elements we can get from histogram? So fast, tell me what is histogram?
Visual representation of any data.
Sorry, I missed that. Could you please explain again? Hello?
For visual analysis of any kind of data.
Any kind of. Mm, okay, any kind of is the good word here because let's say for the last example, I have 5 days campaign data and I have count for around those data sets. So can we create the histogram for that? So let's say I have categorical data and the second one is your numerical data. So for which data histogram is more suitable, or categorical or numerical?
Categorical.
Okay, fine. Then when if I have numerical data, let's say number of days or age, which kind of chart you'll be using? Basically, histogram, you have created some densities from histogram, right? Or you plot the frequency distributions around some points, but it's when you are creating the histogram because you have some real line data, you converted those data sets into bins, and then you have to plot these histograms, right? Basically, you have real life data, means real line data at the first, but the next part you will be doing the binning those data sets. Okay, so for numerical data, we will be plotting histograms most of the times. Otherwise, it is a bar plot. Okay, simply bar plot. So histogram, again we have to obtain the same matplot. Then we have to import the colors and all. These are the some tricky parts in every library. So this is a ticker point. So you can convert entire format into percentage format by just simply using these commands. Now what I'm doing here, I can create get some random numbers from here. So in your R, it's R norm or something, R binom something, but or R unif for uniform. In here you can get np dot random. Okay, and this is a seat basically. So now I got a data. Let's say I want 20 as a bin size, and this is a plot. Subplot 1 cross 2. This is means I have this is subplots 1 cross 2 means I have entire one allocated area for your plot, but within that area I want two charts. Okay, so this is one cross two. If I write 2 cross 2, I'll be getting 4 charts. 2 cross 2. Okay, then tight layout. This is just for layout designing. Now what I want AX0, which is equals to what? Campaign age. I'm plotting at with bins 10. Here I explain 20. I can use 20, but it's not looking good. So I put it here 10. Similarly, for campaign duration, I can put bins is equal to 10. And it will looks like this. Sorry. So this is my first. This is my second. Both are histograms. So if I want to compare two histograms, we can use this kind of setup. Okay. Or if I want to create only single histogram, I can use simply one histogram. So plot hist, campaign age. You can assign title, color, all the format now onwards. But just if you want to focus on how can create what is the syntax for histogram, plot hist, campaign age, bins is equals to 10. If I change this bin 10 to 20, it will give you more sharper histogram. Okay, understood? So next important library. So we have checked this part with your important library. Let's say we are calling them as a matplotlib. There are a number of visualization libraries. So Sibon is one of the library. Okay, so Seaborn library is much more interactive and with good color combinations. So import Seaborn as SNS, then matplotlib as MPL. From this matplotlib, I can use call plot, and this is just for setting the Seaborn setting. Now, if I want to plot in histogram age, this look like this. If I replace this here, bins as well. So I don't remember exact command for bins here. It should be like this. Yes. So this is your first chart. So if I created for the 20, right? So I'll put here 20. Okay. So these are my two charts. So basically they are same because I have already used CSNS library, but this is looks like pretty much good compared to last. So KDE means what? Your density function. If I write through here, it will use density or create a density across all. So it will join your midpoints and smooth this curve. Okay. So basically it will be used to understand the type of your distribution from your frequency. So here my age is something positively skewed. This kind of data we can understand, right? So most of the people from where we are campaign, they are less than 40 age because they are mostly interested in your digital marketing products. Okay, so this is the why we are creating this part charts. Basically, we need some insights. So from this data, we can say definitely that most of the people are targeted for below age 40 group, right? Or there is a if I now much more interested will be what if I so this is a just similarly his spot, but I'll delete this because this is not adding any information. So this is a SNS campaign, then duration and response. Okay. So similarly, I can create here as well your issue is here I have to create multi-plot. Sorry, which is not possible here. Okay, this is in this plot it is possible. So in this plot campaign, this is the duration part, and this is giving me density. Okay, if I write hue is your response, it will create data for density function for your no data. This is yes data and no data. Okay, so this is calling as a displot and it is assigning your density as well. Okay. The next part will be box plot. So why we use a box plot or use of box plot? So this is the most intensively used in banking domain as well, or in a number of situations. So why box plot is more important than your simply histogram?
We
Why do
can
we
easily see the outliers in the data.
Okay, so outlier is one of the feature. Yes, we can see. We are able to see outliers. Okay, that's the good one. Next, is there only one thing we can do by outlier? Basically by box plot. What will be the next? Basically, what is a box plot? Apart from outlier, what kind of summary they give?
It divides the data into some parts in which we can get the values of quantiles or median or else.
Okay, quantile. Okay, these are the how many quantiles they given by box plot?
3.
Three. Okay, so what are they?
Q1, Q2, and Q3.
Q1, Q2, and Q3. With that, we are able to get minimum and maximum. So basically, box plot is your 5 point summary plot. So in histogram, you are not able to see any what is the mean. So this is basically good measure of your central tendency as well as dispersion. So central tendency represents your mean, and Q3 and Q1. This is a interquartile range. It can be given by your Q1 and Q3. Okay. Also, it will be good measure for your understanding skewness, right? So this is a one measure where you can able to see all this stuff in a single chart. And again, this has a good showcase of outlier, right? So that's why box plot is a good measure for visualization. If you plot box plot across two different population, it will be useful to compare two populations. So in your non-parametric setup, when you are checking any test, non-parametric test. So at that time, when we are saying if the two populations are came from the same distribution based on medians, right? So we can compare the two medians. If the two medians are same, it means the populations is same, right? Basically, those two data sets are came from the same population. Now, if I plot the two box plot for these two population, and if we just simply compare the medians or compare those two box plot, we can able to say that these are the two different population, right? So that's why box plot is a good measure for analyzing the stuff. So as a statistician, just forget about the density part, histogram, work on the box plot most of the times, okay, and try to interpret what kind of information they are able to give us, okay. So now what is the how we can calculate the box plot, the sns dot box plot, the simple command, x is equals to duration and data is equals to campaign. So this is from this campaign data I want to create the box plot, okay. So if I write this, it will give me this. So at looking at this data, can anyone tell me whether it is a positively skewed, negatively skewed, or something? It's visible, right? Yes or no? It's okay. Now, whether it is a positively skewed, negatively skewed, there are a number of outliers as well in your data. Okay. I want whether it is a positively skewed or negatively skewed or symmetric. It's definitely not symmetric. So whether it is a positively skewed or negatively skewed. Basically, it's not about the learning of Python, okay. If we are doing some stuff, it should be useful somewhere. Basically, it's a Bernoulli, right? Bernoulli trial, whether you have to say the positively or negatively. Positively 1, negatively 0. And probability of success is what? Forget about it. Okay, guys, tell me whether it is a positively skewed or not. Okay, check how to interpret box plot. I'm not wasting time here. Okay, but if you see here, the box plot is there, but we are not able to. Yeah, by visually we can say there is something around 800 or 700 your maximum point or maximum viscous, right? And these are the outliers. So, but it's not quite interactive. Interactive in the sense we are not able to get values from this chart, right? So we will discuss one another point here. So this is the second point I am discussing. So I have response no and yes, and duration we have checked. So if you see the yes plot, they have higher duration compared to means median for your yes is higher than median for no. Means these two populations are quite different, and definitely your duration part is playing important role while predicting your response. So it will be also used to identify your duration variable. The duration variable whether it is a significant or not. Okay, while predicting your this kind of response. So this will be also used to box plot be also used to understand whether this predictor variable is useful or not. Okay, so there are n number of application for box plot. Just check box plot what is. Now next part is I did this chart. Okay, but now I want to check what are these values. So there is one another library called Plotly. Okay, so Plotly gives you interactive interface with your charts. So here, if I move a cursor, I am not able to see any numbers from here. So in Plotly, Plotly gives you opportunity to interact with your chart. This is my chart. Basically, these are my last two charts. But here, if I move my cursor, it will give you entire summary for this plot. So here my minimum is 0, Q1 is 95, median is 163. Okay, or no. And here median is my 449. Definitely much more higher than your no, right? And it will be easy to view it, right? So based on this plotly, we can interact. We can. Sorry, yes, who is this? Does anyone have any question? Okay, so the plotting gives you one another opportunity that you can zoom this chart. So if I'm interested, I'll put zoom on this and gives you the entire chart over here. Okay, again I want to zoom this part, how many outliers are there, it will again zooming out. Again within this I want to zoom, it will gives you what are the values. Okay, so it gives you opportunity to zoom in and zoom out. Okay, this is your auto scale means what is the best suitable chart for your interface, and you can also save this plot as a PNG. So from if you save it from here, it will directly save at your location where you are working currently with. Okay, this is the new plot which we have stored, right? PNG format. Okay, and you can directly use those plots for your presentation purpose. Okay, so this is the best way you can create plots, and this plotly library will be used where mostly used in your mostly dashboards kind of work. So let's say if I put here plotly statistical charts. Okay, let's start with this part only. So this is a plotly's web page, and if you see here, there are n number of libraries over here. Okay, and this is a dash. Dash means what? They have created dashboards based on this. So this is a most interactive feature of your box plot. If you change here, like your shiny dashboard, if I change my this value, okay, and standard deviation, it will change your chart. Automatically, it's changing, right? So, right. Okay. So if you are able to see this, if I'm changing this value 3, it will change automatically. So basically, like shiny feature, you can create interactive charts using your Plotly library, and this is a good way to represent the data in a real-time format, because the static charts are useful when you are doing a single analysis, but when you are doing a dashboard kind of works, you need to work with the interactive stuff. So this is, let's say if I want to change this mean and the standard deviation into days. So every week performance, campaign week performance. So for Monday it will be like this, on Tuesday it will be like this, based on the real data attached with that particular plot, it will change automatically. So that's why visualization plays important role, because people are more interested in your daily work. Let's say another important is view, charting view, yes, trading view. Okay, launch a chart. Okay, so guys, if you see here, these are also blocks, and this is also created with some backend, right? So what it will show? It will show you the real-time data. Okay, so if there is a real-time trading happen, these plots are automatically created, right? So at the back end, something is working with your data, real-time data. So this is one of the application. Now, if this company wants to work this entire platform with Python, integrated Python. Okay, so you must know which type of colors we can use. They have fixed color setting. Okay, then you have to need to create this block slot in more interactively. So here you can move this chart as well. You can zoom in, zoom out. Okay, so at the back end, some functionality is working, and this is a huge number of application right now only focused on the visualization part. So just don't waste time for getting job in data science only. This is also good major, okay, where you can work or explore your skills. So this is a plotly for you are plotting a chart. So this is your box plot. Now violin plot. So again, from this box plot, I have so some researcher found that box plot is also not that much interactive, or you are not getting total understanding from the box plot. So what they have created, can we plot density across this box plot? So density means what? This is your lower point, this is your maximum point, and this is a frequency structure, right? So violin plot is like this. If I want to see, so if I see there in between there is a box plot, and across the box plot this is the density. If I rotate, I'm not able to rotate. What I do, I just see this chart. So it will be easy to understand. Mm, Copy, copy. New slide. Paste. Okay. So this is my chart, and if you look at this now, this is my box plot. These are the outliers. So within that there is a box plot, and this part is indicating what? My density. If I density means when you are plotting a histogram and plot the KD, it will look like this. So and this looks like your violin shape curve. So that's why they are calling it as a violin. So with box plot, it is giving you summary about your density. Okay, so this is a violin plot, and how you can generate the violin plot? Violin plot basically same. You have to just put px dot violin campaign from which data you are using that stuff, response, age. So I want box plot of age, and I want the two box plot. Basically, in response I have yes and no. Okay, so this is a box plot, and color is also I am given response. So for one population I'll be getting one color, for another population I'll be getting another color. So if I write it, this will be my box plot and violin plot combined. So it will give you entire features about that one box plot or summary. And if I move cursor around that chart, it will give you summary at that particular point. So at this point, highest frequency. So this will be my mode, right? So 31 will be mode, and you are able to get the most appropriate value from here. So here mode is again 31. So basically for these two medians are same, near about same. They are 30, median is 38. For this also median is 37. So near about same medians. So it means that age is not performing any good role while predicting whether or predicting response. So this is the thing about box plot. Next plot will be your scatter. So this is the best example we can work with iris data. So in a sepal length and sepal width, we can plot a scatter plot. And I use plotly again here because I can go and particular point and check what is the value for that point. Okay. And I have again put the color is equal to species. So it will be easy to understand what type of groups available. Okay. So basically from this data, we can able to understand this is another different entire circle. Okay. So why this will be useful from this sepal length and sepal width? If I perform one line, we can able to separate two population. One population will be setosa and second population will be versicolor and virginica. Okay. So from this we can able to say that sepal width and sepal length both are the good variables to classifying this data. Okay. So that's why we need to create the species and scatter plot across each other. Okay. So basically it will be really helpful when you are doing modeling stuff. So the EDA plays the most important role while you are doing the analysis. So in EDA, we are doing EDA means you need to create this kind of charts. So it will be helpful to identify the most good variables or good predictor variables, as well as they give some kind of information about your data, how data is looking, if there is any defect in your data. So basically good data indicates good model means we have to check the quality of data means whether they have huge number of outliers, if there is a missing the population will decrease, kind of stuff. Okay, this is a scatter plot. Again you can use trend line. So let's say I have this kind of data which is having total bill and tip. So is there any relationship between the bill amount and tip? And we have fitted here your least square estimated line. Okay, so here I have plotted the graph, and again it will be gives you the trade line. So in trade line it gives you a regression line where this is your beta as well as your total, the beta naught plus your x1 is total bill and your beta 0, and your regression r square is your what 0.45. So this kind of simple analysis is also work. So if you want to compare multi-collinearity, I am not sure whether you are in the first year, so you heard that problem. Suppose you there are a number of variables are dependent with each other, we face problems like multi-collinearity. And now if I want to identify the multi-collinearity, you simply plot those two variables and just use a simple line r square. Okay, and it will gives you the whether they are r square, and from the r square you are able to understand whether these two variables are dependent or not. Okay, or you will be going to face multi-quality problem or not. Okay, so basically this is a preliminary work for your model building. So we have discussed all these parts: bar plot, pie, histogram, density, box plot, violin plot, scatter, tree line. Now important is risk ranking. Okay, so let's say if I have few minutes more, I'll discuss that part and then we will stop. Okay, so why risk ranking? Okay, I'll put this as it is. Okay, so most of the time people are in banking domain. Okay, so this is a good application in banks, and you need to create some combination chart. Okay, so combination chart means let's say there are four groups. Let's say ABC. I'm simply putting ABC. I'm not making it complicated. A, B, C, D. So this kind of data I have A, B, C, D. Then frequency distribution. Let's say I have total 100 customers. So let's say this will be 20%, this will be 25, this will be again 25. Okay, how much it will complete? 70 and remaining will be 30%. Okay, so this is my frequency, what type of data we have. Next will be your, this is your data. And response. Response means in your binomial setup, my interest will be something whether people will default, right? This is Bernoulli, right? Default or not. Or Y will be something like people interested in a credit card or not interested. Whether they stop using our services, churn or non-churn. So in this situation, I'll convert this into 1 zeros, 1 zeros and 1 zeros. And this will give from this population how much people will defaulted or said yes to my product, right? So response will be my from this 20, let's say 4 people, from this also 5 people, from this also 5 people, and this from 30. Not 30, basically I need to raise this part. Let's say this is 7, this is 9 or 12, and this is 15. 10. Okay, so what is the probability here? Probability of response with this group, 4 by 24. This will be 7 by 25. This is 10 by 25. If I want to write more effectively 25, I'll write here. And this is also 25 and 25. I will create equal groups. And this is my 15 by 25. Right? So this is my probability. So people are here interested in that to create a chart such that it will gives you entire this information. For A, I can write this density, right? So density in terms of I'll put bar here for A. So all are equal sides, so it will be bar like this. And second will be line chart. So line chart will be this probability associated with it. So it has two index. Basically, it has basically this is my A of P V V V. So this will be my B of P. This is my C of P. And this is my D. Okay, and they all are equal size because the 20% is the same frequency distribution for them. About this 5 to 15, right? So this is my 5, this is 10 and 15. Okay, so for my D, let's say this is my D. D, it's a 20 by 15 by 25. I put here 25. For this C, it's 10 by, so it's something like here. Then 7 by 25 means it's something will be here. And for this, it's a 4 by, so it will be here. Okay, and now what they will do, they will plot a line across this. Okay, so if you got this kind of data, how you can interpret this data? This is A, this is B, this is C and D. So from this data, we are able to see that what is the distribution of your A, B, C, D 4 groups, right? So if it is a, right now I'm just using same distribution, but suppose if this distribution gets changed, we can target major people which are having higher response rate, right? So this indicates your response basically, right? This line, and this line is associated with your second chart, and this will gives you basically this is not a 15 by 25, this is 15 by 25, and this indicates your frequency. Let's say this is all are 25%. So 25%, 50% and all. So these kind of charts we are calling as a combo chart. And most of the times it will be used in banking to showcase your what is the frequency distribution across your variable and respective band rate. Okay, so this will be if I just replace this with your box plot. So or then say box plot, basically this is a one box plot for A category, B category, C category and D category. So here we are taking the probabilities. So it means this is the mean or middle value, right? So average outing these values, but here we are using medians. But for your response is binary, so that's why we'll be using the probabilities. So this will be used in classification problems all over in a banking. So let's start with our analysis. Okay, so this is your actual data which we have I worked in bank. So this is your my data scorecard, rigid inference, internal CC. Basically, it's related to your credit card analysis. Okay, and my response is here whether I will be getting what I'll be getting whether this customer will pay credit card loan or not. Okay, this is my binary response. So here, what kind of charts we have created like this. So when you are doing modeling, I'm not sure whether you understand the split of data train or test. So we have to again compare the proportion as well over the time period. So it means we let's say the people from the particular age group has a 20% chance. Okay, so whether the same kind of people's available in your next fiscal, that also we need to check. Okay, so we have to create some combined charts, bar, and their respective bad rate. So here if you see here, my blue is train population and OT population is this color. Okay, and this is the respective bad rate. So here my bad rate is for your first population in train bad rate is this, but in OT it got decreases to 5 by more than 5%. Okay, it means there is some problem happening over here, and for this as well, for the last unit, my bad rate was for original cases it was quite less, it's too much less, but here it was increases. So it will be, and my one axis is the bad rate, another will be population percentage, and this is my indices. So just forget about these indices. So this kind of charts you required in day-to-day life, and we will be most of the people calling this as a bivariate chart, risk charts. Okay, and this is a simple measure. You have to just plot bar and line across it. Okay, so now if I want to create this chart, what type of methods we need? So I'll just walk through this code. I'm not able to run this code because I don't have data with me right now. Import pandas pd and py plot. Then this is a dictionaries because it's automized the code. If you have to just change the data, it will automatically change the code, change the this part. Then this bad definition colors be here. These are the specific colors I have mentioned, right? Color proportion. Why? Because most of the organization have their fixed colors. Okay, and they use only those kind of colors. So for axis, these are the fixed colors for doing analysis. Okay, then this is we are defining the list so we can get data. Here I have created the group by summary by using SQL. Okay, so SQL DB is library for creating SQL charts, basically SQL tables. And after that, I'll be started plotting over here. Basically, this is so much stuff because of. So here, my first chart will be what? Bar plot, population percentage into column percentage because I'm writing X is my this, Y is this. Label is what is this line, then Y label is the label percentage, then what is the label you are doing here, gray, Then you can define the family of name. Means when you are selecting a chart, you are giving name, and you are choosing particular font, right? So you can assign particular font as well, right? So here I am using Arial font, which is obviously by company purpose. Then you can do style either italic, bold, and something. Then you can also assign the font size. If you want more suitable charts, 10 will be good size, 10 to 12. Then this is a title. So this will gives me what bar chart. Now I want line chart, right? So for line chart, here I have put the second plot, right? So x2 dot plot, and here I am putting bat rate. So this is a line, okay. And here I have marked the yes. Mark yes means it's giving me square kind of output, okay. So you have to check what matplot lab gallery, its basics, and you from this charts you can able to identify. So there are n number of charts available. So you have to just check the templates, how they have created those charts, and you have to just implement it your analysis. So there is a huge live charts available in Matplotlib. Okay, so this I'll share with Pritam sir, and he will guide you. Okay, so this is chart. So let's do this is basically function we have written. Okay, so if I'll do this, here I started processing part. Now it's checking whether the data is valid or not. So this first indicator he has given done. Then plotting starts. So plotting starts for what? Train and OOT. If I change this to OOT to V data, it will automatically gives me another color combination. So what I'll do here, so this is the same. So let's say I need to create for 3 charts. F weight, F target, okay. This is my another Louis vintage. Basically, we are checking for the single variable, and this is my data. So for TR, here my TR VBAN. So O, and for validation, it's V. So I need to put here V. Okay, and if I write now this, it will create. Now I'm giving 3 inputs. Okay, first train, validation, and OT. So first is done, data is correct. So now its processing is start. So second analysis is also done, and this is now giving me 3. Okay, and now color combinations are also changed. Okay, so this kind of analysis we will do in day-to-day life. And basically this is a code which is a real-time used right now. So if I have to create any classification problem, and I have fixed number of variables, they can need to just use this code and create the charts. It will save huge number of time. If I want to create this chart in Excel, it will take too much time. Now I have to change just the data here and the variable name, and it will give you me this kind of charts, and it will be easy to directly downloadable form. Okay, so that's it for today's lectures. Do you have any questions for me? Now speak at least. So do you have any questions for me, guys? So I'm done with the session.
Guys, if you have any questions not related to this session, but you have questions related to career opportunity in the banking, so you can ask this question also.
Yeah, definitely, because we have again 15 minutes more. If you have any question related to the this plotting exercise or any other questions, feel free to ask. Guys, I'm telling you, the major drawback with all of you guys, you are not able to speak. At least speak, because people from whenever any resource person came, uh, he has some kind of experience and he has already faced some issues. Okay, and this is a good opportunity to interact with them and understand whether what we can solve these kind of issues, right? Because if you didn't speak, you are not able to understand what will be the next step. Okay, and there is also a high chance that you are not able to get those understanding.
So could you please explain the GD plot?
So what I need to explain?
Sorry.
So Pritham sir, could you just repeat the question? I didn't understand. Or you can type in a chat box, no problem. If you are not able to speak,
मयूर
uh,
क्वेश्चन मयूर क्वेश्चन परत एकदा विचार सुरुवातीत ऐकायला नाही आलं.
so ggplot. So guys, ggplot is a library which is used is in from R. Okay, and it has intensive plotting features, good features. Okay, so I thought you know the R. That's why I'm comparing the Python with the R. So you have learned the R or not in your undergraduate? Okay. Anything else?
Okay, so students don't have to. I'm going to ask you one question. So, could you please explain the students about how to get the career opportunities or how to get chance to work in the banking sector? Okay. What steps they have to take to basically join the banking sector?
Okay. Fine. So basically, guys, you need to focus on three, four major points. First part is what your statistics. As you are status working with the statistics part, you need to be good with hands-on understanding of statistics. So in statistics means from the basic probability to the advanced machine learning algorithms, right? And you need to work on each and every aspect. If you are not good with the statistics, you will not get a job. Even if you learn the machine learning courses, if you learn the programming, but programming is just tool, so don't waste time on tools. Acquire the techniques as much as possible. So technique in terms of your regression analysis, your data mining parts, your let's say linear models and linear models ANOVAs. So in banking mostly we'll be focusing not on the your linear models part, but we'll be focusing on the data mining parts like regression part, decision trees, then logistic regressions, then cluster analysis some way, because we need to segment the customers. Okay, so these kind of statistical tools you definitely need to know, and good hands-on with the programming, because banks has huge amount of data. So you need to work with good programming languages. At least learn one of the language, R or Python. So as Python is in demand right now, it's good better to have Python as well as R. Apart from that, you also need to work on SQL skills. Why SQL? Because data is now not in Excel format. It's in somewhere in a data warehouse. You need to extract those data set for your analysis. So SQL is also one important technique or tools you need to understand or work on. And last but not least, you have to work on Excel most of the times. So Excel, R, Python, and SQL. These are the four technologies as you need to work. And for the statistics, as you are doing a master's, you need to work on each and every aspect of statistics. So you can't say that we didn't study this point after the completion of masters. You must know what is the probability, what is the adjusted R square, what is R square, how time series works, how we can make them stationaries. Because there are huge applications for time series as well in banking, like call forecast, customer management based on the time, balance, proportion handling over the time periods. Okay, so every tool which we have studied in statistics, which will be directly applicable in banking domain. So you will get job in banks without doing any other extra course. But you have to be good with your statistics and programming skills.
Thank you.
And
So
the,
I also another question. So could you please explain the how kind of project students would have to select to get the job in the industry? So is it on the secondary data or is it on the primary data? Or
okay,
basic.
so guys, because you are doing masters and most of the time you are too much busy with your work, academic work, yeah, it's not able to collect the primary data. If you are doing that, so you have to be very precise what type of data you will be collecting and all. So if you are
Mike,
focused, yeah, if you are focused on getting a job in industry, try to get a job, open source data set. There is a Kaggle, they have huge repository of data, UCI repository, their NYC data, they are open source data sets. So you can take any data from them, from that domains respectively. Basically, if I want to kind of analysis with the uh, automobile industry, so there are automobile data as well, health data as well. So now the two fascinating things. First is your core statistical work, and second one is your deep learning projects. So most of the people are going for deep learning projects. Like you have to create the image, tag them, so tag some image, and there is a predefined structure or algorithm available. So you have to check whether this person wear mask or not. Yeah, these stuff look cool, but there is not too much input from your side. Okay, so these uh, projects are good, but at long run it not shows your capabilities. Okay, so these are good projects you can do as your simple works, but per project it should be something good, and uh, you need to work on too many stuffs in project, like from data processing, data handling, and results and all. If you are doing for image based projects, there is a huge less number of data preparation part. Okay, so don't uh, choose those projects for as your final projects. Work on them, but not as your final projects. Final project should be your statistical project. If you are interested, do one natural language processing project, one image project as your secondary project, but final project should be a statistic project. Statistics means modeling of a particular data. So it can be time series analysis, or it can be a logistic regression classification problem, or any real data analysis. Because you have to check validity of data. You can choose any kind of algorithm to solve those problems. Okay, so that's my understanding. You can choose anything in between this.
thank you. So guys, you have any question you can ask.
I think they are not interested to ask any question.
Actually, so we are organizing this lecture in the online mode. So might be they have difficulties or they are facing difficulties to asking the question. But when you are present here offline, might be we will arrange one session. So one interactive session. In that session, they will speak more, I think.
Okay. We say I'll be there tomorrow and Saturday in mathematics department.
Okay. So
So if I get some 30 minutes time, I'll definitely interact with the student. No problem.
yeah, sure, sure.
Okay.
So then I think we will conclude the session. So thank you, Suresh, for accepting our request and delivering the nice lecture. So it is a very informative session for me. I learned a lot of new things in this lecture.
Yeah,
So
seriously.
yes, yes, sure. Yes, and I hope student also learn a lot of things. So please share this notebook with us or with me. I will share among them, and definitely that will be helpful for them. So they will directly use that notebook as the notes also. So please share this notebook of this Jupyter notebook with me. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I'll definitely do that.
Okay. So again, thanks for accepting our request and delivering the very wonderful lectures. So we are. I am going to arrange many more lectures. So I hope you will be frequently here. So to support us. So thank you for again. Thank you, and we will conclude this lecture is over. Okay.
Okay, definitely. Thank you. Thanks,
Thank you.
students.